St. Louis Cardinals dropped the finale in a three-game series to the Miami Marlins as they were unable to complete the sweep, but we saw good things from Jordan Hicks. Offense didn't show as many good things, but we'll see if that can change this weekend against Cincinnati. On today's show, we're talking about why the Cardinals just need to flush the loss yesterday, forget about it, and move on, and how to take advantage of a struggling Reds team this weekend, breaking it down on today's episode of Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Cardinals for Friday, April the 22nd. Happy Earth Day. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen of the day, Monday to Friday. I am Lucas Smith, host of the show at LJ Fastball, right down there on Twitter. If you're looking for it, you can also find the show at LO_Cardinals on Twitter and Instagram as well. Talking Cardinal baseball 5 days a week. Not a very exciting game yesterday as the Cardinals fall to the fish 5-0, as I mentioned in the YouTube Open. But you saw some good things. You saw at least one bright spot was Jordan Hicks and his ability to give you something to build off of. So we'll definitely be talking about that on today's show, talking about Verhagen and his lack of results. The defense actually failed yesterday. It was a bit of a defensive blunder for the St. Louis Cardinals. Why the Cardinals just need to flush it. Talk about that as well as maybe not a big-time series coming up this weekend, but nevertheless a series against a division rival. And those always tend to mean just a little bit more. Because in my opinion, every team in the division is a division rival. That's just the way I see it. Obviously, you've got the Cubs as an upper echelon rival, one of the best rivalries in all of sport. But when you're looking at in the division, you still got to win those games. And to me, when you are playing games against teams that you must win, those count as rivalry games nonetheless. So we'll see what the Cardinals are able to do this weekend against the Reds. But before we get there, we do unfortunately have to talk about the pretty ugly 5-0 loss. The Cardinals as a team had 5 hits yesterday. 3 of those came from Nolan Arenado. 1 from Yadier Molina, 1 from Dylan Carlson. Not one single extra base hit, and the Cardinals managed to strike out 13 times without walking once. Meanwhile, the Marlins walked 4 times and struck out just 5. And the 13 strikeout performance was really rare when you're thinking about this offense because they have not been striking out a lot this year. But we'll give credit to where credit's due to the Miami starter Lopez in just a little bit. But first, I want to talk about the Cardinal starter in Jordan Hicks. Final line wasn't anything overly impressive. 3 innings, but 2 hits, just an earned run. Walks 2 and strikes out 3. For Jordan Hicks, in my opinion, this is something to build off of. This is something Hicks can say, okay, I was able to be somewhat effective, 46 pitches through those 3 innings. You can live with that as a starter, especially a 5th starter like Jordan Hicks is right now. You can live with 45 pitches in 3 innings. You can definitely live with that, right? So I think that Jordan Hicks, at the bare minimum, gave you something to work off of. He gave St. Louis Cardinal fans, he gave the St. Louis Cardinals something to look forward to. He was decently impressive. It is hope for the future of Jordan Hicks because, in all honesty, there's definitely there probably will continue to be some hesitancy as to why the Cardinals actually gave Jordan Hicks the starting job, which I understand, I recognize when you have somebody like Jake Woodford as an option, as well as Drew Verhagen, who they signed, who is now hurt and has been ineffective. But to me, Jordan Hicks being announced as the 5th starter was a bit odd. But in his first 3 appearances of the year, overall pretty solid for Jordan Hicks. He's 1-1. He had 2 relief appearances before this, and now the start. It was his first career major league start. But so far through the first 7 innings of baseball for Jordan Hicks, not bad. Like I mentioned, 1-1. He's got 8 strikeouts. His whip sits at just 1. He's given up just that 1 earned run. Yesterday was his first run given up when he was on the mound. So you have to look at this as a strong start for Jordan Hicks. And that's a thing for this rotation that has some openings in it, has some holes in it, has some question marks in it. But so far they have turned those question marks into a little bit of a lighter question mark, a little bit of something that you can say, okay, we can handle this. We can piece things together before Jack Flaherty comes back and becomes the number 1 starter again. But Jordan Hicks, I thought his stuff looked pretty good. Had a couple of wipeout sliders, swing and a miss strike threes that were just straight filthy. Two of his three strikeouts yesterday. And again, he got 4 groundouts, 1 flyout. Defense didn't help him. Cardinals made a rare mistake. They ended up giving DeYoung an error on that play. It was a ground ball up the middle. If you missed it, Tommy Edman got to it, flipped, and DeYoung just kind of whiffed on it, really. Ball got away and a run scored. So you have to think, I've been talking till I've been blue in the face this season on the key to everybody on the Cardinals staff is to keep the ball on the ground and you'll get outs. And I still think that remains true today, despite the lack of performance by the defense yesterday, by DeYoung yesterday. But you also had Yadier Molina offer up a passed ball. So you got to, back-to-back times, Cardinal pitchers were not aided very well by their defense. Aaron Brooks also struggled out of the bullpen as well, as he was charged with 3 earned runs in his 2 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 home runs in his line of work, so he has not had a good start. But to just kind of finish up and wrap up on Jordan Hicks, he didn't light up the world, but I talked about it yesterday. He needed to go anywhere from 3 to 4 innings, 0 to 3 runs, and that would be a successful start in my eyes. And I would also look at how the stuff played. The stuff played. I was happy with what Jordan Hicks was able to do. I understand that it was the Marlins. It's not necessarily the strongest of offenses, but it's not a weak offense either. I mean, you've got some thumpers in there. You got Chisholm at the top that did hit a home run yesterday. You've got Soler in there. Sanchez and Aguilar have performed well, especially Sanchez to start the year. So you have some people in there that can hit. And for Jordan Hicks to do what he did, again, provides hope for the future of his starting career. At minimum, it provides hope for the future, for the immediate future for Jordan Hicks and whether or not he's going to be cut out at the major league level. So the couple questions I have, one comment in a report is that Drew Verhagen is going to the injured list. It was a hip problem that apparently has been bothering him since spring training. The Cardinals announcing on Twitter that they have recalled left-hander Packy Naughton. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, from Memphis, who they picked up from the Angels. So lefty coming up. Paughton is a lefty. So the question that I have, that was the report. The question that I really have, where's Jake Woodford? Where is he? You would think that Woodford would have been first in line to come in after Jordan Hicks yesterday. And again, maybe it wasn't, but he hasn't pitched in a while. Verhagen hasn't been effective. He hasn't pitched since, but not opening day, but the first weekend of the year, excuse me. We went 3 innings. That's all he's gotten this year. I'd like to see him maybe get another opportunity to be a long man. Maybe next time when Hicks gets to start in 5 days, maybe Woodford ends up being that second guy. So that just is what it is. But again, Hicks was solid. Verhagen not. Brooks not. Cody Whitley got a scoreless inning of work in there. Whitgren got a scoreless out in there. Verhagen, it was an unearned run because of the pass ball that I mentioned, but nevertheless, to be desired from the bullpen work yesterday. A lot to be desired from the offense as we start to wrap up the conversation that we're having about yesterday's game, because as much as I need to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it for too long. So the offense was just wiped out yesterday by Pablo Lopez. He was just straight filthy. 7 innings, 3 hits, zeros across the board other than 9 strikeouts. He was good. Got 8 groundouts to 4 flyouts, threw 100 pitches in those 7 innings, struck out Albert Pujols 3 different times, struck out Tyler O'Neill 3 times. DeYoung, Bader both had a couple strikeouts to their ledger. Lopez was just filthy yesterday. And we can talk about the offensive struggles and how Goldschmidt needs to get going, DeYoung needs to get going, Bader. I understand that, but yesterday it was just Pablo Lopez being on it. And beyond that, you really can't give anything else other than credit to Pablo Lopez. So I'll talk about the importance of just needing to flush this game from the Cardinals' memory, because that is the beautiful thing about baseball. It can be a curse, but it's also a beautiful thing. You get to play again tomorrow, so today you just got to flush it and move on. That's the beautiful thing about it. You just got to move on, short-term memory. So we'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment, as well as start the preview of the Reds series, because the Reds come in struggling just a tad. So we'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment. But I have 2 things I want to tell you about first. The first one is the best tasting protein bar in the entire market, and that is Built Bar. Built Bar is an incredible tasting protein bar that gives you all the health benefits of a protein bar while tasting like a candy bar. They even have a wonderful product called a Puff. If you have not heard about these, you're missing out, because the Puff are the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. They're fluffy, marshmallowy, They have incredible flavors as well, and they are covered 100% in chocolate. Whether you want to go for the coconut marshmallow, the yummy cinnamon churro, or the banana cream pie, so good. These are going to be your new favorite item at Built Bar. So get these in addition to your regular Built Bars, because Built Bar products are covered 100% in chocolate but still have incredible health benefits, such as 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar, which is usually 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, dozens of net carbs, and no protein. Get the best of both worlds with Built Bar. And if I haven't enticed you enough, I can save you some money as well. Go to Built.com today. Use promo code LOCKED15. That is LOCKED15 to get 15% off your order. Once again, that is promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. We're also talking about today again, BlueNile.com, the original online jeweler. If you're looking for an engagement gift, for some fine jewelry, or as well as Mother's Day coming up, because whether she prefers a statement piece or everyday subtle elegance, BlueNile.com has fine jewelry options for every woman, including as Mother's Day is running around the corner, every single mom. You can shop high-quality classic diamond earrings, elegant tennis bracelets, or gemstone pendant necklaces. If you're looking for fine jewelry but you're having trouble choosing, no problem there either, because Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7. Available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every single budget. You can make Mother's Day something enduring with a classic diamond stud earring set, elegant tennis bracelets, birthstone pendants, much, much more at BlueNile.com, celebrating the special woman in your life as well. BlueNile.com can also help you easily navigate hundreds of thousands of online jewelry options at every price point. So this Mother's Day, give mom something she will treasure forever with fine jewelry from BlueNile.com. Locked On MLB listeners will get $50 off a $500 purchase. This podcast exclusive is good only through Mother's Day. So use code LOCKED ON. That is code LOCKED ON, LOCKEDON. And every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever peace at BlueNile.com today. Cardinals will be facing a struggling Reds team here coming up as the Cardinals travel to Cincinnati for a 3-game set in Cincinnati to face the Redlegs. This Reds team is one that is struggling. 2-11 to start their year. I'm honestly shocked they're getting as a high attendance as they are. You know, a team that sold off as many pieces as the Reds did. You'd expect them to get as many people as the Oakland Athletics are. I mean, those attendance numbers have just been bad. 3,000 one day and 2,000, I think, yesterday was the attendance, somewhere around there. So anyways, Reds are struggling. The key for the Cardinals to help bury this Reds team down in the dirt. I hate to kick a team while they're down, but key for the Cardinals, flushing yesterday's loss. Because yesterday, it was, and it wasn't necessarily painful, not like they lost in the last inning or anything like that, but it was just frustrating. Couldn't get anything going against Lopez. Bullpen couldn't really hold it together, unlike they had all year so far. Just flush it. Forget about it. You have to have a short-term memory in all of sports, really, but I'll argue you really have to have a short-term memory in baseball. I talked about it a little bit before the break. It's a blessing and a curse that you have, such a short turnaround time, because sometimes you need to process things and you can't, but other times, like today, it's a little bit of a blessing because you just need to flush that game yesterday. Tip your cap to Pablo Lopez for shutting you down. Flush it, because the results need to come this weekend. There are some intriguing pitching matchups for the Cincinnati Reds, which I'll talk about. I'll grant you that. But the results need to start coming for a lot of these Cardinal players this weekend, especially just because it is again, all due respect, it's the definition of a bad baseball team. Not very fun to watch. For the Cardinals, team like the Cardinals that puts themselves in a playoff hunt, that says they're going for a championship, these are the teams that you need to leave, no doubt. Marlins are a scrappy bunch. But these are the teams like the Reds that are, at this point, going to be arguing with Pittsburgh for 5th place in the division by season's end. These are the teams you need to absolutely bury. I'm not saying sweep or bust, but results need to come this weekend. Period. So we'll see what the Cardinals are able to do against a struggling Reds team. And it all starts tonight, on Apple TV Plus. Just a little heads up, Apple TV Plus is where the game's at tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals. Free to stream for anybody. But Steven Matz getting the ball against a highly touted prospect for the Cincinnati Reds, Hunter Green, who has done okay in his first handful of starts at the major league level. Just 2 starts so far. He's 1-1 in 10 1/3 innings, 13 strikeouts. His whip is at 1.06. His last time out this against the Reds, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned, 6 punch-outs. He struck out 7 at Atlanta in his debut. Also went 5 innings there. This is his home debut. So I'm sure that there will be plenty of people in the stands tonight to watch this. This is somebody that Reds fans have been talking about for a couple of years now. So I would envision the Great American Ballpark to have a little bit more oomph to it. So we'll see if that adds any adrenaline to Hunter Green. But for Steven Matz, it's continued to do what made you successful in Milwaukee. Throw strikes, keep the ball on the ground. I know that the defense failed yesterday for Jordan Hicks. The game plan can't change. I mean, last time out, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, no earned runs, no walks for Steven Matz against Milwaukee at Milwaukee. This will be his second road start of the year. His first start came at home against Pittsburgh. So you're going to have a flamethrower in Hunter Green. I think he broke the record for most pitches at 100-plus miles an hour in a start in StatCast era, 39, something crazy like that. Maybe it was by a rookie. I don't know the exact parameters of the stat. But holy cow, this dude is electric. He's got some great stuff. And his adrenaline is going to be kicking. So the key for me, for Green, to put on my Reds hat for just a little bit, didn't actually put on a Reds hat for those of you not watching, but is for Hunter Green to use that adrenaline, to use that emotion, and make it a productive one. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it overtake everything. Just let it fuel you and to pitch better because of it, not worse because of it, right? And the Cardinals, on the other hand, recognize what the adrenaline is doing to him. If it's making him wild, if it's making him miss up, down, in, out, wherever it is, recognize that and take advantage of it. Offensively, Nolan Arenado needs to stay hot, and everybody else really needs to pick it up, needs to get it going. Lineup is already out. Recording these later than I would like to, so I apologize for that. I'll be trying to fix that with my scheduling in the next couple of weeks. But Dylan Carlson needs to get going at the top. Paul Goldschmidt needs to get going. Taylor O'Neill really needs to get going. Corey Dickerson has done little to nothing at the number 5 spot. Tommy Eben just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He's had a nice start to his year. Lars Nootbaar is without a hit. Edmundo Sosa just has a game underneath his belt, maybe 2, and Kisner. But in terms of regular, everyday players, Nolan Arenado is really the only one hitting. So take advantage of the adrenaline that Hunter Green may or may not use to his advantage. Flipping around on him, right? We'll see if the Cardinals are able to do that on Friday. And then when we're looking to Saturday, it's a pitcher for the Cardinals that needs to really turn it around and get things going. Sorry, my light just went out on YouTube if you're watching. 3-10 start, but Dakota Hudson getting the ball for the St. Louis Cardinals. He'll be going up against Tyler Mahle. Dakota Hudson has had one so-so start and one not good start. So, against a bad Reds team, bad Reds offense, you've got Tommy Pham and Joey Votto in there. I recognize that. But other than that, you got a bad team. Aristides Aquino has done nothing, really. Nothing exciting. Colin Moran, that's a name that I recognize when looking at this team. But Nick Senzel, a name that I recognize when looking at this team. But take advantage of the fact that you're not facing an offensive juggernaut on Saturday with Dakota Hudson. And go out there and, once again, throw strikes, keep the ball on the ground, especially. So it's always important for the Cardinals pitching staff because of the infield they have, but it's especially double, triple, quadruple important when you're playing in a ballpark like Great American Ballpark. That thing is a shoebox. It's a nice park. I've been there. It's fun to watch a game at, but holy cow, is it a shoebox. Especially to left field, it feels like. I mean, a pop fly goes 400 feet there. Keep the ball on the ground for Dakota Hudson. And when you're looking at Cardinals numbers against Tyler Mahle, I feel like we've seen him a lot over the years. You've got some impressive numbers. You're probably going to see Yadier Molina in the lineup tomorrow. He's not in today, but because in 23 at-bats, Yadier Molina is hitting .478 with 3 home runs and 7 runs driven in. Harrison Bader, 4 for 8 against him. You've got Paul Goldschmidt hitting .348 in 23 at-bats with a home run. Nolan Arenado's .267 and 15 at-bats. Paul DeJong is 2 for 21, but those 2 hits are home runs. or 190 and 21 at-bats. So you got some good numbers against Tyler Mahle. I look for the Cardinals offense to carry them tomorrow. And again, I'll get to the prediction in the third segment after I break down the Adam Wainwright scheduled start for Sunday. But again, to kind of just finish up the point on this segment, keep the Reds down. Keep them at 2-11 to start the year. No reason to give them any sort of hope. Again, I don't mean to be harsh, but there is no reason to give them any sort of hope that they could actually beat this Cardinals team. Things are going to happen. A sweep on the road is hard to do no matter who you're playing. It's unlikely, can be unlikely. But go out there and dominate. Make the Reds beat you. Don't beat yourselves. Don't commit errors like you did against the Marlins. That would be my advice. So one more start to talk about. That is the Adam Wainwright start and talking about what he needs to do to impress on the road again. Talking about that coming up here in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you guys about BetOnline.net and how it is your number one source for all of your betting stats and sports info this season, and also for all the sports' latest developments, league reviews, news, including this year's basketball playoffs, which are well underway, and this year's Major League Baseball season. Head to BetOnline. It is your continued spot for all of your sport wagering information, whether it's live betting, playoffs, esports, and so much more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. Bet Online. It's where the game starts. Game 3 of a 3-game set on Sunday between the Reds and Cardinals will feature Adam Wainwright versus a young left-hander for the Cincinnati Reds. I don't know if he's a rookie, but he's highly touted, Nick Lodolo. Not a very good start to his season so far, just a 24-year-old left-hander. This is his rookie year, excuse me. So he's 2 starts, 9 innings total, 13 hits, 8 earned runs, good for an 8 ERA. 4 innings against the Cleveland Guardians, gave up 5 earned runs, and then 5 innings against the Padres in his last start. He gave up 3 earned runs. So that's not terrible. He did strike out 8. So the Cardinals are going to be facing 2 young studs or 2 highly touted players this weekend in Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo, and then maybe not a seasoned veteran, but somebody who the Cardinals have seen plenty in Tyler Mahle on Saturday. So really 2 different types of pitchers that they'll be seeing. So with Lodolo being a lefty, you will likely see Albert Pujols back in the lineup, and with Adam Wainwright on the mound, you will see Yadier Molina behind the dish. I'll bet you, like I said, with the good numbers against Mahle, I would imagine Yadier Molina returns tomorrow, and then he'll be catching Adam Wainwright on Sunday, and then Albert as well. I think anytime we get all 3 of these gentlemen in a lineup, we should circle this game. We should watch it with high intent, all that, because we don't know how many times we're going to get it. And these 3 have provided so much memories for Cardinal Nation over the course of their careers in St. Louis. 2 World Series championships for those 2, an extra pennant after Albert had left, and 1 before Wainwright got there as well. So anytime those 3 are in a lineup, take extra care. Watch it a little bit extra. I know Wainwright's not going to hit. Wainwright's only going to be on the mound, but still. Last dance remains true for at least 2 of these guys. Take care. But for Wainwright, he just needs to impress on the road once again, because at least for me, the book on Wainwright is that he's just really good at home and hit or miss on the road. And so far, that has shown to be true in his first 3 starts of the year. He was really good at home against Pittsburgh, throwing 6 shutout innings. And so. He was 4 1/3 with 4 earned runs at Milwaukee. Was ineffective. And then line out at Miami, 5 2/3, an earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 5 hits. So the key for Wainwright, just like he talked about in his last start, what he was able to do against Miami, find the edge of the strike zone. Don't find the middle of the strike zone, because that's not going to do very many good things for Wainwright, especially when Adam Wainwright doesn't have as much life in his stuff as he used to. So in terms of my prediction, I expect 2 out of 3 for the St. Louis Cardinals this weekend. I'm going to go bold, though. Here, you know what? I'm feeling bold today, everybody. I know I've talked about how it's hard to sweep and everything of that nature. Baseball is unpredictable. I'm predicting a St. Louis Cardinals sweep. I've talked about it on this show. I think they're able to wipe the memory. I think they're able to flush the memory from the weekend. I think that they take advantage of Hunter Green making his first start. Maybe he's a little bit nervous. I think the offense continues to find success against Mahle on Saturday. And I think that Adam Wainwright goes out there and pitches well on Sunday. and I think the Cardinals keep the Reds down and sweep Cincinnati this weekend. Let me know what you think. DM me on Twitter at LJFastball. You can comment on the YouTube section. You can email lockedoncards@gmail.com. However you want to do. Let me know what your predictions are for this weekend series against Cincinnati. I'll be back talking to you guys on Monday, breaking down what is hopefully a sweep for the St. Louis Cardinals. Talking Cardinal baseball more on Monday. Thank you for making this your first listen of the day. Make sure you make Locked On MLB your second listen of the day with your pal Sully. Until I talk to you on Monday, be sure to stay safe, stay well, and have a fantastic rest of your day.